Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Sammy here at Sammy J Stitches, and it is a new vlog week. It is currently Monday, June 29th. Again, I'm sorry I'm starting this one a bit late. We had some iPad technical difficulties last night, and we are good to go. So, tonight, although, well, it's Monday, so it would be homework night. It is also the 29th, and Virtual Stitchers did this event this year called Leap Into a New Start. It's because we had leap year this year, and there's 29 days in every single month, and that only happens once every 4 years. We decided a new start needed to happen every 29th for the entire year to celebrate. So tonight's a new start. I made sure that I could fit my new start into homework so that I'm still keeping with my rotation as well. So, my new start is Love Friends Home by Jardin Privé. I believe this was a market release, and I'm very excited. I think it's very dainty looking. I think it would look great on a super high count. However, I only have 32. Well, I kitted it with 32. Maybe I wasn't feeling that whole super high count thing then, or whatever. I don't know. So it's this gorgeous, and the sun's going to go away, so this should show up pretty well. There we go. It's gorgeous. This is Unipoo from Mystic Fabrics. She is on Facebook as Mystic Fabrics. I'm in her Fabric of the Month, which she recently opened up, but is now closed again. Sorry, I missed that. I missed it until a couple of my friends got in. She has a Facebook group where a couple times a month she'll do like the fabric games, and so she posts a whole bunch on there, and you try and be the first to claim it. And for the first hour, you're only allowed to claim 2 pieces, so that more people can try and get fabrics. Things like that. It's really interesting, but you have to set an alarm because her fabrics go. She never has anything left over. But she has amazing fabrics. I really like all her fabrics. So and some really unique stuff too. So I'm going to get my new start on that tonight. Didn't have anything in the mail today. I think that's it. I'm ready to get going. I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's going to be a good week. So that's it for now. I will check in with y'all later today. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It is the evening of June 30th, Tuesday, and I did not check in with you this morning, and there was twofold to that, in that I did so much last night that I really didn't get the progress I wanted, so I was trying to stitch up until that last minute, which I know is usually my excuse, but, you know, it is what it is. I enjoy my stitching, and I try and get every drop of it I can. The other reason is because I didn't hit my goal on it, so I am going to work on it a little bit tonight. But I figured, tonight I'll show you before I get started, because we're also going to discuss something else. So here's where I got to on Love Friends Home from Jardin Privé. I need like 50 more stitches, so I'm going to get those in really quick. Also tonight, because it's homework night, I'm going to try and get through 2 more. Probably only get one of the 2, but then the other one can come out on Thursday. So one of them is Irony. This is something I started for Stitch Mania. So there was literally a prompt about laundry, so that worked. And then the other one is my Shores of Hawk Run. This goes across a couple of the groups, so really it needs the most stitches, so I'll probably start with it. Maybe I should start with the other one, I don't know. But anyways, there's where I'm at. Still working on that first block. Remember, I'm only doing 4 of the blocks. This one exactly the same size next to it, and then one down below. So, alrighty, well, I really need to get to stitching. because it's getting later and later, and I will check in with y'all here in a little bit. Good morning, everybody. It is July 1st. Oh my goodness, we're in a new month. Okay, so we got 100. Oh, I didn't tell you about this. So I forgot that Uno starts, well, technically today, but because in some parts of the world, yesterday was today. She spun at 6 o'clock. I believe it was somewhere around 6 o'clock, and picked whip 1. This is whip 1 on Uno for me. So if it picks a whip, it's 100 stitches. So whip 1, 100 stitches. It's brown down here. So, and then like tomorrow, if it picks whip 2, then it's 100 stitches on whip 2. If it picks reverse, then we would then go to whip 4, because you're going from whip 1. You go to whip 4 and do 200. You'll see as it goes on, because I'll talk about it. So after I got that done, and I have been supremely lazy tonight, and just consistently stitching, but stitching really slow because I'm too busy talking. But I did get my 500 done on Shores of Hawk Run. So it is ready to go up. Look, I got more rocks. We've got all of the lighthouse now, most of the words, some more sun. I was like, one color here, one color here, one color here, one color here. So, but I really got to get packed up because they should be here any moment to relieve me. And I didn't get to irony, so we will, oh man, I just threw a needle. We will work on irony on Thursday. I am home Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week, and my husband is actually off. It is the first time we will have days off together that have not been requested off due to medical or funeral since COVID started. It'll be the first time. So I'm probably going to spend some time with him, although he encourages my stitching, so I should be able to at least get my homework done on it. Yeah, homework. So just look at that. Look how clean and pretty that is. I love this fabric. What is this? Freya. It's a lot like Avalon, but more green and blue. I don't know. I love it. I love Leslie's fabrics. All right, I'm putting it up. I will see y'all tonight. It'll be scavenger hunt night. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. It is July 1st. Welcome to July. I'm hoping it's a little bit better month than June, which, I mean, looking at my numbers, was a better month than May. So I did do all my stats for June, so it took me a little while to be ready to film this. Excuse me one moment. I all of a sudden was super thirsty. So here we go. I worked on, okay, so when I started June, I did so with 35 whips because some things had gone from Mania, some things had gone into the understudy box, some things got to stay on the list, some goals had been completed, so things got swapped out. But I started the month with 35 whips on my short list. Not overall. I want to say that I'm at like 50 or 51 total, but I haven't looked at that in a hot minute. So, of those, okay, so I started off with 35. Then I finished, I hit a goal on Spangled. So it went into the understudy box, and then Anzac came out. So that's one switch. Later in the month, I finished Fox Few. So it went away, and Tired Trio came out of the understudy box. So we added, let's not worry about the finishes just yet. So from 35, we added 2 from under the bed box. Then I had 2 new starts this month. I had Magic Study from Heaven and Earth Designs and Love Home Friends from Jardin Privé. So we're up to 39. And then I had 2 finishes. So I finished Snowy Outlet and I finished Fox View. So going ahead by those numbers, I should have 37 for this month. I don't, however. So wait, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, minus 2. Oh, okay, but I don't. I'm at 34. And the reason is, okay, so from 37, Spangled went into the understudy box, so it got removed. Magic Study went into the understudy box, so it got removed. I still feel like I'm short one. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. We're going forward with 34. In June, I had 14,860 stitches, which my goal for each month is 16,677 or something like that. My computer just started unpausing itself. So it's under my goal for the monthly, but I've been doing fairly well throughout the year. So there's been some months that have made up for that. I mean, was it March or April? April. I did like 20,000 stitches. So since we're officially halfway through the year, January, February, March, April, May, June, 6 months are gone. We've done. My grand total for 6 months is 100,322. My goal for the end of the year is 200,000. So I'm on point to complete my goal, as long as I can pick it back up and not have any more months like this one in May. May was like not even that. It was I want to say like 13,942. So almost 1,000 additional stitches this month. And the end of May and the beginning of June, I was MIA for a couple weeks. So it's not too bad. And of those, of all of them, so 39 whips, I worked on 14 of them this month. So I didn't touch a whole lot of whips. So I basically put almost 1,000 in each of the whips that I worked on, or a little over 1,000. So that can't be too bad, right? That can't be too bad. So, all right, it is a new month, it is a new day, and we are going to work on new things. Let me move this out of my way. Tonight is scavenger hunt night. So we're gonna work on each of my scavenger hunts. My hair is driving me crazy, sorry. First is Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream. Remember, we just finished the diagonal, so we're going to come back up here and work our way back down again. I figure probably 200 stitches on that, if not a few more. We have Autumn Wreath is not on the Q snap for whatever reason, so I got to pull it out. And remember, this one is all back stitching right now. Where are we at? Don't look at the back. This one's horrible. So, all back stitching. I think I'm going to start here, work my way down, because, I don't know, maybe I need to come over here and fill in that empty spot, because, like, I did this stuff, and then, like, stopped, and so I don't have this part of the bow, but I have this part of the bow. But if I do that, I'll have to move it mid-stitching, so I may just do the other side. Anyway, working on Autumn Wreath. It's back stitching for a few hundred stitches. And also, I love Scavenger Hunt Day. I have forever and ever. And this one should only need tonight, maybe one more time to be completely finished, because we just have this bud, these two flowers, or this bud and these two leaves, and then we're all done. I may try and do that tonight, but I need to touch on everything. We didn't touch on Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream last week, and that really bothered me. There will be one more whip tonight, and this is because I am participating in a game in my saying called You-Know Stitches, which is a play on Uno. So if you've ever played Uno, you know that there are 4 colors, like red, blue, green, yellow. And, well, the premise of the game is to get down to 1 card. So if the card facing up is yellow or a 1, you either can play a yellow card of any number or a red 1. So, taking that basic premise, that we're going to have 4 whips. Each whip is our color. And you can only change them out if you complete one. So, if she spins and she says, work on whip 1, we put 100 stitches into it. And I showed you that last night. Because I'm wanting to get some scavenger hunting done, I made sure that my scavenger hunt items were on my Uno list. But not Autumn Wreath because of that backstitching. So, numbers 1 and 2 are Minnie, Alice, and Dolly Dream of Forever and Ever. Number 3 is Pretty Little Paris, and number 4 is, I want to say Miss Ladybug. I think so, pretty sure. So, then, I just put the 100 stitches in yesterday and I let it go. Well, then today there's another spin, and it can either pick a different whip, or it has one of these specialty ones. And if it's a specialty one, then whichever whip it lands on is 200 instead of 100. So today was skip. Today was a skip, which is one of the cards in Uno. And so we skipped, since we worked on number 1 yesterday, we skipped number 2 and work on number 3. So I will be putting some stitches into Pretty Little Paris. Now, had she called whip 2, I could have double dipped. But anyway, I have put 200 stitches into this, which, I mean, this is pretty bulk color, so that shouldn't take me very long. I'm going to start with that to knock that out of the way, and then go through each of my scavenger hunts. So I'm going to get started on that, and I will try and check in at least midway so that y'all can see, so I don't have to leave all 4 whips out until the end of the night. But no promises. We had a really good storm earlier. It's made it really windy. You may be hearing knocking where it's trying to push my door open. But other than that, I mean, I think it's mostly passed over and we should have a good evening. You can see where it's passed. It's been storming a lot this year, which is unusual because mostly in West Texas we don't get a lot of rain, but we can use it. I'm not complaining. And with fireworks this weekend, it's probably a good thing to have the ground a little damp. All right, I'm gonna get to stitching. I'll see y'all soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, July 2nd, and it's in the morning, and it's time to go. And of course, I didn't check in with y'all at all last night because why would I do that? Anyway, I'm just being silly. Okay, what did we start off with? We started off with Pretty Little Paris. So I had to put 200 stitches in this for Uno. I went ahead and put in 250 because it got an ingredient that Myth and Magic needed. A group on Myth and Magic needed. Anyway, this right here needs to be ripped out. It is in the wrong place. It needs to be like here. So that's something I need to work on before I pull it out again. I didn't want to rip it while I was trying to count up because it would have counted against my stitches, or I would have had to take an after picture, say what it was, frog it, take another before picture, and it was just too much hassle. So I will work on frogging that a little bit at a time. Alright, and then it's scavenger hunt night. How many times have you heard that? So the first thing I wanted to start with was Forever and Ever, just because I'm feeling so good about it, right? And so 2, 3, 400 are my options for scavenger hunt. And when I got to 200, I was like, man, it just doesn't look like there's next to anything left. Let's just keep going. And by the time I got to 300, I was like, oh, definitely we're just going to finish this. So 431 stitches later, I have a finish. And it's gorgeous. I love it. But here's what I'm saying. Like, when I started scavenger hunt, I had love done, I had these flowers done, and like I was almost to the bird when I started. And now look. Voila! It did amazing things for this project, and look how beautiful that is. I just love it. I need to put it up on the wall so I can stare at it all day. I'll just clip it with one of those pants hangers and just hang it there so I can stare at it. So, Forever and Ever is done, and Pretty Little Paris will be taking its spot on the scavenger hunt. So then the next thing I went with was Autumn Wreath, just because I'm getting so close to a finish on it too. Now, I knew I wouldn't finish it tonight. I'm not going there. But I want to make sure it's getting progress. And it's not on my Uno this month, so it only gets worked on if it's a homework prompt, which with just backstitching probably won't happen. So, scavenger hunt days. So I did 300 stitches worth of back stitch, and like if I put the before after, or the before picture, you totally see the difference. But yeah, so I finished these berries in here, the bottom of the pumpkin, this leaf, yeah, twig with leaves, and then on here I had some parts back stitching, so I went ahead and started working up through the sunflower. I've gotten these berries done, so now I'm kind of coming over this way to go back down this way. As you can see, some of this stuff down here I did before. So once I get over this way, then we'll continue on around. So I say, I don't know, 3 or 4 more sessions. Back stitching is kind of torture, so like I'm not gonna go crazy or anything. All right. Now that took me until 4:30, and I didn't want to not work on Alice, but I didn't have much time to work on her. It was actually 4:40. I was like, I have 20 minutes. So all I got was the park threads done. Right in here, it's about 40 stitches in 40 minutes. Not great, but I'm also just easily distracted with talking and stuff. So, the reason though, the thing about that is because it is part of my Uno, my Uno game, it could very easily, I'm gonna frog a little bit while I talk here. It could very easily come up tomorrow, today, the next day, whatever. And so it'll be easy enough to get those scavenger hunt stitches as I'm working on it. So it being focused on scavenger hunt day is not a big priority. However, I do want to, this fabric's kind of soft, so I'm afraid I'm going to cut it with this seam ripper. I do want more focus on it, get more done on it, so it wasn't that, it's just I ran out of time tonight. 1, because I got kind of a late start, and 2, because I had to work on this first, and I worked on it for more than just the 200 stitches. You know, it was an accumulation of things. I had to deal with some drama. Always dealing with drama. It's okay though. It's okay, that's what we do. I'm very excited to go shopping and get some floss today. I'm gonna have a floss party. I'm gonna have to have a bobbinating party before too long. Most of it I'm sending to a friend though, so that's neither here nor there. So anyways, I will quit rambling. I need to get all this stuff packed up because it's almost time to go home. I'm off the next 3 days, so I don't know how much you'll see me. I'll try though. But like, I know Friday we have plans. We are going over to my in-laws, and we're going to pop fireworks and eat barbecue and have homemade ice cream. This has been promised to me. They better... Okay, if we don't have homemade ice cream, we better have banana pudding. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm looking forward to that. So, I doubt I'll get any stitching done that night. I might take a little stitching with me. Just, I can stitch and chat with people. I mean, look, I'm doing it right now. So... I may get a little stitching done, but I just may not check in a whole lot over the weekend. I'll have my work schedule, but I am assuming I'll be here Sunday, because I'm usually here Sunday, and I will catch up with y'all before I put out the video. So I hope y'all are all having a great stitchy week, and that you're stitching right now. What are you stitching? Let me know. I love to know these things. Oh, I had a question. I had a couple questions. The first was, what do I do for a living? I am a security guard, and so right now, well, okay, on a normal day, what my job would entail is signing people in and out of a location so that we know who all is on location in case of an emergency. Also to make sure nobody's going on location that has been banned from location. Sometimes I work with a solar panel company, and I would badge them in and out at the beginning and the end of their shift. Currently, I'm at a COVID pre-screening station. And what that means is, well, when I first started here, we asked them a series of questions to see if how high their exposure risk is to COVID. And if they answered yes to any of the questions, I had to ask them to leave. That never happened. One came close, but they had proof that they could be here despite the fact they were from out of state. Then for a little while we were taking temperatures, but now that we're not completely locked down anymore, they actually have created a COVID screening app. So the person will log on to this app and fill out all the questions that I would normally have asked them, and then they hold up this app and it has a green light on it and it says the date, and that means they can go through it. And if it has a blue light on it, I have to take their temperature. And if it has a red light, I have to ask them to leave. Again, I've never had a red light. Mostly green. And then at that point, I don't even have to sign them in. I just use one of those little clicker counter thingies just to record the fact that they're on location. Now, granted, this is not an oil rig, so on an oil rig, they would still need their name so that they know in case of an emergency, oh, this person's missing, that sort of thing. I mean, it's a security and safety and all that. So, what was the other question? I think it might have been, how do I keep everything organized? I kind of went over that during Mania. I showed you a lot of my homework list and how I write down each of my groups and that sort of thing. I want to say it was early on in May, one of the first couple videos. I will do another run through of my planner at the end of the year and kind of tell you what worked, what didn't, what I like, what I don't, what I'm doing next year. I do that every year in December. So the last couple years in December, you can go and take a look and you can see that the progression, the logic, different ideas. Because I find that what works for me doesn't necessarily work for other people, and what works for other people doesn't necessarily work for me. So you got to try it all. Or sometimes you can tell just by looking. You're like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So I'm almost done frogging this while I've been talking to y'all. I think that was all the questions I had. I don't usually get a lot of questions in my, not that stitch, in my comment section. So I don't usually have questions to answer, but I will happily do so. I did already comment back to those people, because I don't like to leave you hanging. I mean, it's still going to be several days before this one goes up, and you're sitting there going, I asked you a question. So, no, nobody would talk to me like that. I appreciate how friendly and kind you are, and how many people have been very supportive, considering the whole grandma thing. And how I called myself a hot mess last week. They're like, it's cool, I'm here for it. And I love that. I love that this community is so amazing. So, look. It's not neat. I gotta clean it up a little bit, but stitches are gone. So, I'll be ready to go next time. And it's gonna stay on the Q-snap since it's going to jump into my scavenger hunt rotation. Okay, I've rambled for 13 and a half minutes. My relief should be here in about 13 and a half minutes. So, I need to get packed up. I will see y'all tonight, maybe. If not, I'll see you Sunday. I'll see you sometime in a blink of your eye. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. It is Sunday, June 5th, and I'm filming from my car because this is my work today. And actually, oh yeah, I do, okay. So for the next 3 days, I will be sitting in my car at a job location because that is what the job entails. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try to upload this in the morning. I don't know how that's gonna go, only because I don't have a way to plug in my laptop to be able to do all that. Anyway, so we'll see what gets done tonight. So I didn't get a lot of stitching with July 4th weekend. It was the first time my husband and I have had time off together since COVID started that hasn't been specially requested for some sort of drama. So we spent my first day off, we spent it shopping, getting groceries, getting fireworks, things like that. Thursday we did the fireworks and barbecuing and all. that entails. And then yesterday I pretty much, oh no, the AC in our room went out yesterday and I had to go get a new one and then put that in. It's just been a hectic mess. I did get some stitching done, but not as much as I would have liked. So about 300 stitches on Pretty Little Paris. The reason I've continued with this is because of Uno. Because I needed 200 for a wild, which means I could pick any of them. And then the next day they picked whip number 3, which is this one. So I figured I'd just get all 300 knocked out on this. I have to do 100 for this today for the spin yesterday. And then today's spin is whip number 4, which I believe is Miss Ladybug. So I'll be pulling those 2 out before I get my hate out. It's going to be kind of a busy night, so I don't know how much stitching I will get done on Once Upon a Fairy Tale. But I'm hoping at least a little bit. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and try and piece this all together. So you'll see the end of tonight's on next week's video. I hope y'all have had a great stitchy week. A happy 4th of July. And just remember, I blinked. Why we celebrate 4th of July? Anyways, happy stitching, everybody.